My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. This is the only channel dedicated to UFC fight picks and DraftKings lineups run by MMA insiders and professional fighters. Every week, I join Dan Kramer and Nick Newell, two longtime professional fighters that have fought at the highest levels on the planet, as well as Jacob Lyons, a skinny kid from Indiana. So join us every single week for our full fight card breakdowns, our individual fight card breakdowns, our betting guide, and our DraftKings lineups. Next up at UFC 263, we have Movsar Evloev versus Hakeem Dawodu. Wrestler versus striker. It's that simple. Grappler versus striker.
Whoa.
But Dawodu is dangerous everywhere. Power everywhere, fast everywhere. But first, they are both 5-0 in their last 5 fights, obviously, with Evloev on being undefeated. Dawodu has 1 loss, and it's been a while. I don't want to say it's a hard fight to pick, because in my opinion, it's an easy fight to pick, but I know a lot of people are very high on Dawodu right now. And honestly, there's no reason not to be. The odds are pretty far apart considering how much incredible power he has. He throws everything with power. He has really good takedown defense. If you do the stats, I think it's like 85% takedown defense. And even if he does get taken down, he's immediately moving, immediately trying to make something happen. But, you know, the problem is Evloev doesn't stop. Like, his chain wrestling, his chain grappling is very good. He doesn't stop. He continues to march forward, continues to make things happen. If he doesn't get it the first time, he'll try the second time, and he'll just keep working that over and over and over again. And in order for Dawodu to get the knockout, he's got to commit to these punches. And normally I would say Evloev has to fight a perfect fight to win this because of Dawodu's power. The problem is he's so relentless with the takedowns, I don't think it matters. Like, I don't think Dawodu is going to have the time to really get off and really set things up. But he is a very live underdog. To me, before I go to you, Dan, Evloev is my pick. I think he wins. But if you want to throw a prop on Dawodu by knockout, I don't think that's crazy here. I mean, he does have that kind of power. But Danny, what are you thinking?
Let me unmute myself. Sorry, I had a call coming in. I mean, I agree with a lot of what you said. I do think that first of all, I know that Evloev is very, very good. He trains at ATT. He's young. He's getting better every fight. I think he's going to be a legit contender. And I think he's on his way there. This is going to be a big test for him. His opponent is very, very good. Dawodu looked great his last fight against another very tough opponent. He's beat really 2 tough guys in a row. So, knowing Evloev's style, I still watch tape on him. He's very well-rounded, good wrestler, grappler, also a good striker, solid jabs, solid fundamentals, good head movement. He has given up some takedowns, but scrambles really well. I don't see that being a problem in this fight. And he's 4-0 in the UFC, so he's, creeping up there, and this is going to be one of his first really big tests. He's beaten veterans like Nick Lentz. He beat Grundy in the fight before that. The Lentz fight was weird because he got takedowns, but Lentz was so relentless with that guillotine. It's almost like you can't even, like, I think that was a split decision, which I thought was a little weird. I thought Evloev clearly won the fight, but Lentz was so crazy with that guillotine. It's almost like you're never going to fight a fight like that again, where someone has that good of a guillotine. But anyways, he looked fresh in the 3rd round of that fight. Good conditioning. So I was very impressed with how he performed, and I know I've heard from people he is very good and he is getting better. Dawodu, same thing. His only loss was getting caught in a guillotine, in the 1st round. I feel like that could happen to anybody at some point. Tito Ortiz and I forget who with the guillotine.
Guy Metzger. No, yeah, Guy Metzger.
There was a couple ones where people just get caught in guillotines and they make a mistake early in the fight where they're still dry. So, anyways, write that off. He's got 1 loss, but he's won 5 straight since, and he's beaten tough guys. Zabira Tukov, very good. Julio Arce, very good. This guy is a high-level kickboxer. He does jump kicks, punches, kicks, good body shots. And the Tukov fight is where I was kind of most impressed by him. The first round was close. They were both a little measured. Second round was very competitive striking. Tukov went for a couple takedowns, but Dawodu, like you said, he defended very, very well. Tukov did get it at some point, but Dawodu was able to figure a way to get up at some point. I think Tukov trapped his arm in that round, actually, which that position sucks, and there's really nowhere to go. But by the third round, Dawodu really started landing cleaner on the feet. Tukov started shooting a lot more, and Dawodu defended almost everything, like 3 or 4 shots, and he was defending it, walking him down with punches, screaming at him. So he was very confident in his takedown defense, his striking. I think this is definitely closer than the odds suggest. But I think Evloev is the side. He's my pick. I wish the line were closer because I think there would be some value there if they had this, low better than minus 250. That's just a lot to spend in what I think is going to be a pretty close fight. But same thing as you. I think Evloev's wrestling, grappling will likely be the edge in this one, but I think he's going to have to work hard for it. And we're going to see. We're going to see if he's going to climb that next rung up the ladder to being a contender. So. And I will say there's probably a little value on the Dawodu side.
Yeah, with that kind of power.
7,000. I mean, there is that. I'm not playing him because I think Evloev will win, and I'm rooting for him. So, but for $7,000, that's a good value.
What's crazy is I think both of them are solid DraftKings plays. I think $7,000 with that kind of knockout ability that could be there is not a terrible play. And 9,200, where if Evloev gets implements his game plan and gets takedown after takedown after takedown, or, pieces him on his feet and then gets takedowns, there's going to be a ton of points there as well. So I actually think, depending on what side you're on in this fight, both of them are solid plays in DraftKings. Betting wise,
this is a good tournament where you could play both sides of this in a tournament on DraftKings for sure.
The odds, I agree. I don't like money line on either one of them. Especially because if you think Dawodu wins, it's going to be probably by stoppage. So why don't you just do the stoppage prop instead of take the plus 200 odds? And I'm not spending minus 250. And the Monkey Knife Fight lines are pretty high. I think less is my play on the Monkey Knife Fight line. 118 is a lot. And I think Evloev might be a little afraid to exchange and will rely more on his grappling than his technical boxing, because there is just so much power waiting on the other side of that cage.
Yeah, Dawodu is a good striker, but man, Evloev is he's one of those guys where he's very good and he doesn't look quite as athletic as some of the other guys, but he's there. His head movement's there. He's very, very good.
Very technical
too.
Yeah.
It's I agree. I think less is probably the play, but this is a tough one to call. It just really depends how the fight goes.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one, and I'm looking forward to it for sure.